for me, there's no question that Carr Fork was the single most exciting event in my geological life. And the reason that we were able, basically Bill Atkinson, myself, and Jim Garmo, were able to drill out, well over 100 million tons or resource, I have to be careful, resource of 2.5% copper, was because we mapped in excruciating detail. We logged core. We logged core in quartzites and hornfelsses that would never be ore bearing. And people would ask us, why are you mapping those barren rocks in so much detail? Why are you sending them out for assay? And we'd say, because these are going to be the vectors to the ore. And the ore is along these thin limestone beds, and we have figured out what the alteration is out here in these quartzites when they're near ore grade in the limestones. And we're going to map the hell out of these quartzites, and we're going to, contour them in 3 dimensions. That target zone we define on the basis of mineralogy. And we've got a 3-dimensional model for the limestones and for the intrusion. You put it all together, but it's dominantly mineralogy, mapping minerals, and understanding what they mean that led to our very systematic drilling at Carr Fork. So this would have been in 73, roughly. Yeah, early 70s dollars. With drill hole spacings that were 1,000 feet apart. Drilled from the surface, 2,000, 3,000 foot holes. Well, we said, look, we were predicting grades ahead of drilling. And if you look at the overall history of our prediction of grade ahead of drilling, we were, let's say, I don't know what the numbers were, but let's say we were 90% right. Because we'd done the science, the descriptive work followed by the interpretation of the science. And we got the development project going.
I was in Africa with John Hunt at the time that this was going on, and I remember being somewhere in some place in Africa, and John was on the phone, and he was on the phone, and he was on the phone, and finally he came back and poured a drink, and he said, I was just on the phone to Marco, and then on the phone to some, I don't know, some board of directors or somebody, and said, and based on 6 drill holes, we've decided to sink a shaft. And 6 drill holes and Marco's work. Marco and the other 2 guys that were working with him.
Our deepest hole was bottomed at a couple hundred feet above sea level. Deepest hole ever drilled in the Bingham district. And it was the 2nd highest grade intercept. So the Carr Fork, Skarn, and related North Horseshoe are still going down past sea level at high grade, and it hasn't been touched.